Any questions for Coach Day? If not, he'll spectate back here.
The sideline, forget about it. This baby's over.
Oh my goodness! One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Another block. One more, and he's got it. Touchdown, no flag.
Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins.
Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa! Can they catch him? No! Donovan Edwards again. The down.
Alrighty, welcome back to episode 20 of the Scarlet and Blue Show. Garrison, how you doing? What's on your shirt?
Oh, dude, so this right here is my LSD Harper's Ferry flag football shirt. We won the championship actually in the Naval Fleet. So I thought, why not break it out, man? I found it, it still fit it well. So
move up. Don't stand
I'm
up.
not, Bryce. I'm not, Bryce. No, we ain't doing all that. Stop that. What is this? What was his next top model? Stop that. Let's go.
Is it a belly shirt? Like, is it?
I should turn into a crop top. I should turn into a crop top. That but.
Well, let's be honest, Garrison. We're all getting older. Shirts in our early 20s don't really fit.
It's pretty cool.
All right, it's pretty
cool.
All right. Well, I like it. Shout out to the boys in the Navy. Garrison, I didn't tell you this, but we got a pretty special guest on today. So I reached out to the Ohio State Athletic Department. I said, hey, I want to talk to your coach. And they said, that's fine. He's actually in studio now. So here, come over here, coach. Just wanted to got Ryan Day on today's episode of Scarlet and Blue Show. Coach Day, Garrison, you can ask a question after this, but I got one question. Just wanted to ask again, how much real estate does Jim Harbaugh currently possess in your brain right now? And he's a little shy. But any questions for Coach Day? If not, he'll spectate back here. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, headphones.
You are a piece of work.
There we go. He's with us in the back.
Of work.
He's with us in the back.
You know what, Bryce? Keep that same energy. Last week, final week of November. You keep that same energy.
Oh, brother, it's not going anywhere.
All right.
I will tell you what, though. That's the good stuff. That's the good Costco stuff.
Hey, you know what, Bryce? That's where he belongs. On top of that helmet.
I see that was not a great placement, but
perfect.
the fact that you're acknowledging him as Coach Day.
I'm not acknowledging anything about what you just did. And I hope your wife is okay with you wasting toilet paper like that.
Oh, she won't be happy about it. I'll tell you that much. She will not be happy about it. All right.
Wait, 1 second, Bryce. Actually, let's stop. I gotta go take a Michigan real quick.
No, you can do better than that. Come on. You've had better content, better material than that.
I'm done.
All right, we're gonna dive in.
Let's go.
We talked enough about the Suckeyes last week's episode.
The who?
The Buckeyes. You heard me. The Buckeyes.
Thanks.
And hopefully people liked our back and forth. That's just a sneak peek of what the last 15 years of Garrison and my relationship has been like normally. Yeah. We figured out how to be somewhat cordial in this environment most of the time, but sometimes the fountains burst.
Hey, sometimes I got to teach you football. That's all.
Is that what that was?
That's exactly what it was.
I don't think everyone saw it that way, but we do need to talk about Michigan this week. So yep. Buckeyes have a bye week. Can't squeak out a win that way. Also can't squeak out a loss. You guys got a bye week. So we talk about that briefly. I did want to just touch on a couple things from the Rutgers game because we didn't get a chance to touch on that.
Yeah.
A couple just notes, as I thought it was an interesting game. I thought it was a really good game. It's just so much too. The way that the sports media works today, this is such old news. Like, we're so far past week 4 games. Yeah. But a couple of things I just wanted to call out.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I noticed on offense, the second drive of the game, how I wanted to acknowledge how creative and how much they opened up the playbook. And normally Michigan, it feels like oftentimes Michigan will just try to impede their will, run the ball, get that part of the game going, and that opens up the rest. And sometimes that takes a couple drives. And it was like there was a mix of needing to get JJ back on track, needing to get Donovan Edwards going. And they ran a few plays that, one was that kind of reverse flea flicker. The other one was, I believe it was a wheel route to Edwards. I forget what the route was, but he got open, so he got involved. He's got some things he still needs to work on, but excited for him this week. Sharon Moore came out today and said that he had a great practice. So excited to see him this week. So that was good. Like I love seeing that playbook open up. There's a lot you can do with JJ. I thought that was great. On the flip side of that, start of the second half, first drive of the second half, it was just big boy ground and pound football. Number 2 got a lot of action, a lot of carries, kind of set the tone going into the rest of the second half and the rest of the game.
The only comment I'm going to make about that game, Bryce, is having to run a trick play against Rutgers is crazy. That's crazy.
They didn't have to do it. They didn't have to.
All
but they did, and it opened up the offense.
That's what you have to do to open up the offense.
Stop. You know more about football than to make that comment. You're still being sassy. You're being sassy. The other thing is just interesting to see, and it's been a lot of talk this week, which I feel like I called this out against Bowling Green. The left tackle situation. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Hinton's hurt. I thought he was hurt.
No, he's just bad.
But then
he's big for nothing. That's what he is.
But Jim Harbaugh during his press conference said that he was one of the top graded offensive linemen. That week. That game.
I don't know, Bryce. I don't think any Michigan fan thinks that.
The head coach of the program said that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm confused. I don't know what to make of it because I think the offense looks better when Barnhart's the right tackle and Henderson's the left tackle. It just looks better. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes out of that. And then the last two things I'll say was just defense just was stout. I mean, held them to 257. Take out that 69-yard pass play, which was Rod Moore's really first play back. Missed tackle. Won't happen again. They shut that offense down. Not like it's a high-powered offense, but it's what you expect. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say Rutgers is Oregon.
Yeah.
So
I saw Penn State hold Iowa to 76. So
that's I've got them on our thing to talk. I want to bring that one up here too. We'll get to that. All right, moving on. Garrison, we got the Cornhuskers. Where's Nebraska's campus? Pop quiz, trivia time. What city is the University of Nebraska?
It's not Omaha, is it?
It's not Omaha.
Where is it?
It's in Lincoln.
Lincoln. I knew that.
Lincoln, Nebraska. So we go out there to one of the coolest college football stadiums, I think. Been there one time, and
great atmosphere.
And atmosphere. Going to Nebraska, playing a 2-2 Cornhusker squad that has bounced back. Started the season with that heartbreaking loss to Minnesota, and then got bottle rocketed by Dion and Prime Squad out in Boulder.
Yep.
And then they were able to bounce back against Northern Illinois and then Louisiana Tech last week. So back even. And here's the thing. I mean, we'll get into the nitty-gritty. The first 2 weeks of the season, Nebraska had 8 turnovers. I'll say that again. 8 turnovers. 4 turnovers in each of the first 2 games. A lot of that was Jeff Sims, which
I was wrong. I was wrong.
We'll get to your record here, gambling, which is amazing. But I'll give you your credit. But yeah, that Jeff Sims 6 might have been. Hey, we're due one bad take.
Bryce, that I've had that Michigan State.
That's true. Look at you, man of honor, owning up to things.
Man, that I've had my bad takes are really bad. They're really bad.
There's room. There's room there. Let's get into some stats.
Yeah.
Numbers, guys. Huskers, 88th best offense in terms of average yardage. So they're averaging 359 a game. Offense side of the ball, not great. 104th in scoring offense, averaging I believe, just over 22 points a game. So offense has some work, but the offense looks different than I think what most people saw week 1 and week 2 against Minnesota, against Colorado. Made a quarterback change. Moved on from Jeff Sims to Heinrich Harburg. Sounds like a Oktoberfest beer, but that's his name. I know, that's right up your alley. He has gone, he's number 10 for the Huskers, starting quarterback. He's gone 24, 47, for 278 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, 2 rushing touchdowns. And he was the one that they made the move to from after those first 2 tough games with Jeff Sims. So
Yep.
I went back, watched the tape because I didn't watch their games against NIU or Louisiana Tech. I did go back and watch against Louisiana Tech today, and this number 10, this Harburg, he's an interesting back. He can throw the ball, but man, the kid is mobile. The kid is mobile. I think Jeff Sims obviously was the threat running the ball, but the turnovers plagued him. And
this kid's been better.
This kid could be better. Matt Rule came out this week and he said, I don't have a starter. He said that both guys can start the game, but both guys can't finish the game. So it's going to be interesting to see. I imagine they go with Harburg. But yeah, I watched a lot of him, a lot of option. Michigan's going to have to be very honest on their reads. A lot of option coming out of the shotgun formation. So you'll see the read option. You see some triple option. You see some speed option going both ways. It's a lot of RPOs. Not the most accurate quarterback, but can get the ball where it needs to be. So that's something of interest, something to keep an eye out for. Billy Kemp, the 4th, is the leading receiver. He's going to be number 1. Watch for him. Has 13 catches this year and is averaging 10 yards a catch. So big playmaker. I think he's also the punt returner as well. And then we're splitting carries between 2 guys, Anthony Grant and Gabe Irvine Jr. or Irvin Jr. Number 23, number 22. Both average 5.2 yards pop. So they're pretty much splitting carries throughout the season. Anthony Grant had a big second half against Louisiana Tech, so he's going to be a big play type back who will line up out of the I formation, will line next to the quarterback in shotgun, very versatile, running the ball out of different formations. So Michigan's going to have to be honest, but the thing I'm really interested about is the defense. So I was looking at their numbers, and if you look at the numbers from the top, 23rd ranked defense, giving up just under 300 yards a game, 298. And then they're 35th in points allowed, averaging 18.5 points a game. You take out Colorado, obviously those numbers are going to change. Shador had a heyday against these guys, put up almost 400 yards. And Louisiana Tech's quarterback put up 300 yards too, but kind of kept him in check. Kept Rocky Lombardi at Northern Illinois. And then I can't remember the Minnesota's quarterback's name, but they contained him, I think, to 170.
251.
That total yards or passing yards?
Passing.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that many. I thought it was less than that. So the defense is something that I think is a little more stout. I mean, it's Nebraska, and you still have the fingerprints of Scott Frost on that program, and Rule's going to have to work hard to get rid of those fingerprints. But it feels like the defense is going to be a little bit better. That said, 196. Okay, I thought it was under 200.
Yeah, it was under 200.
Yeah. So 196. So yeah, the rushing defense is very solid. Guess what they are, Garrison? I'll give you a hint. They're top 10 in yards game.
I'm looking at it. 46 a game. Yards.
And that's what is that? Is that put them at number 2? I think it puts them at number 2. Yeah.
Yep.
So the number 2 ranked rushing defense in the nation. So we'll see Michigan go hat on hat, but I think this really opens up. And when you ask me, what do I want to see? I want to see the quarterback being protected. I want to see JJ pick apart a zone. I think they run a lot of zone on the back end, and I want to see him just sit in the pocket and wheel and deal, slice and dice. I think their secondary is probably one of their weaker units. Let's see what number 9 can do. Don't force it, JJ. I know you're listening. Don't force it. That's not what I'm asking.
That's what he does.
Make a play. No, he doesn't. He did it once this year. Garrison did it once, and now his coach is back. We're back to being zen.
You say so. I mean, listen, based on the numbers for Nebraska, I mean, yeah, like 100, we said 196 against Minnesota. Then the next game they shut that down, but it was a nobody team. But I mean, like I said, Colorado 393, Louisiana Tech 292. So when they play competent quarterbacks, they get torn apart.
Yeah.
So I mean, and maybe part of that 46 rush yards a game, maybe it's because they have a really good front seven. Part of that also be because if teams know they can tear you apart. I mean, if I know I can pass on you all game, take the last two times Ohio State's played Michigan State. We don't run the ball on them. We just throw the ball. I think Michigan should be able to do that this Saturday. I'm really interested to see what you guys do against a mobile quarterback.
Yep.
Usually you guys struggle against that. When you talk about Harvard, I mean, you're talking 6'5", 215 pounds, so he's a big guy. Clearly, he can run that pill. That's clear as day.
He can.
Now, we brought up Kemp's his receptions. 13 is not a lot. 132 yards and 1 touchdown. They don't have a lot of weapons on the outside, and I think that was evident week 1 against Minnesota. And it's been evident all year. I'm pretty sure Harbaugh hasn't been. I don't think neither quarterback has gotten over 60% in a QBR. Passing is not what they're going to do. So, I mean, if you're Nebraska, you have every intent on running that clock down, and I mean all game. Do I think they're going to be able to do that? Maybe for a half.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's going to – this would be a great Don Brown game, a great one. I
so
think
tongue-in-cheek.
Am I lying?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Am I lying? I mean, this is one of those games where you will be able to stack that box. And this is going to be the best defensive line Nebraska's seen all season, of course. Chris Jenkins, one of the best defensive linemen in the nation. Freak athlete, big guy.
Yep.
This would be a game where your front line gets tested, especially your defensive ends. They haven't had much production, really. I guess now I wouldn't say much. It's really just I'm blanking on his name.
Derek Moore has been productive. Josiah Stort's been a bit quiet. Braden McGregor's been a little quiet.
Yeah, all right, thank you. That's his name, Braden. So I mean,
yep. Jalen Harrell.
We'll see what happens there. But no, I think that the spread's 17 right now. It's not in my 5, but I lead towards the 17. I think you guys can cover that.
Okay.
Because I don't think Nebraska is going to be able to run the ball on you guys like that. I think they're going to be successful to an extent.
Yeah.
But if you can't pass the ball against Michigan, SOL. I mean,
yeah,
that just is what it is. And even if you wanted to pass the ball, they have one of the best secondaries in the nation. Their wide receivers don't have anything on your corners. I think this is the potential, Bryce, for a blowout. And on our page, we dropped a question. If Michigan were to blow out Nebraska, would you be impressed, or would you be like, "Oh no, I expect that"? Now, most people said they expect it, even though I don't believe Nebraska is a really good team. You're going on the road. It's a Big Ten game on the road. One of the most hostile environments in the nation.
Yep.
If Michigan were to go in there and blow them out, Bryce, I can care less if Nebraska gets. I think they'll get to 4 or 5 wins by the end of the year. I think that's impressive. I do. It's still a Big Ten.
Okay.
Game on the road. It's still a Big Ten game on the road.
Yep.
If you blow them out, I'll be impressed by that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's all I like to hear. Yeah, I would agree. I mean,
that shocked you, didn't it?
I did. I'm a little thrown off. Me and Coach Day are a little stunned right now. I think I would be surprised. I'd be surprised if it was a blowout. I would. Not accustomed to that. They blew them out last year. That was in Ann Arbor in weird conditions, and Scott Frost was fired at that point. So there was nothing going for the Huskers then. But boy, you go back to 2021. That game was pivotal this season because we went into the fourth quarter down, and they came off, I think, a 22-point deficit. I think they had 22 unanswered points and came back and obviously took us that strip and then the fumble and then the defensive stop. And so Nebraska wasn't very good back then either.
No.
That was when they were 3-9, but the best 3-9 team to ever play. I think they kept the Buckeyes within single digits, right? I think that year. Yeah. So it was a good football team that just couldn't win. And so we'll see.
That was the greatest. How many wins they had that year?
They went 3-9.
Yeah, the greatest 3-9 team of all time.
No doubt. Not even close. So yeah, I think there are still fingerprints of Scott Frost on that program. You go back, watch the tape. I mean, you saw the 8 turnovers in the first two games. They had another turnover in the third game, only one. So that's 9 turnovers in 3 games. Obviously, they were clean last game, but make mistakes. And so you almost wonder, rely on the Huskers to make a couple mistakes, a couple turnovers maybe, some drop passes, missed tackles. Saw a lot of that against Louisiana Tech. It'll be interesting to see. It will be very, very interesting to see.
I will point this out. They do have 14 sacks on the year.
The Huskers do?
Yes, they do. So
whoa.
That's a big number. So
they get to the quarterback.
That probably leads to the 46 yards per game, giving up rushing. Yeah. So we'll see if they can get to the quarterback when you guys do pass the ball. So or if you pass the ball.
Yeah.
But
I think we'll. All right. Well, good Michigan talk, Garrison. You came to play today.
Hey man, sometimes I don't push agendas. Sometimes I actually do my homework.
Look at you. I like this Garrison. Although I like the other Garrison as much. So we'll see. Hey, what Buckeyes bye week? Anything? Any thoughts? Any conversation?
This is the perfect time for it. Especially after a big game like that, sometimes the next week you can have a huge letdown. And so I'm really happy that the schedule played out that way for us. I think that, I hope that during this break, they put a lot of work into that passing game. At the end of the game, or let's just say on that last drive, we saw something in Kai when it comes to throwing that ball. If he can be that, this takes us to a whole new level, because it opens up the running game. The running game isn't bad right now. I think our running game is pretty good, I actually think. But if he's able to make throws like that, be consistently that, man, that I think we're gonna take off. I do believe we have Maryland, so that is gonna be I guess you could say our second test for our secondary. I would say it's our second test for our secondary. I don't want those guys to get too high on themselves, but you got to keep playing at that elite level. Burke Bryce, he got thrown to one time against Notre Dame. And I'd say he's been our best defensive player all season so far, easily. I would say it goes him and then Ransom. Probably Tyleek too. So I'm really excited to see that. Kyle, perfect your craft. Perfect. I know that we have high expectations for our quarterbacks at Ohio State, but you have it in you. And I know that because we saw it. So that's all I want to see. And I want Ryan Day and Brian Hartline to that's got to be racist. I'm telling you, Bryce, I question you sometimes, man. And if you I don't know if you've ever looked in the mirror before, but
Garrison D.
Yeah, man.
No, you're right. You got a lot of momentum for 6 and that passing attack going into the bye week. Capitalize on it. Use those clean reps to hone in the craft.
Yep.
Do you have a question for me, or was the question about what you want to see out?
Yes, we can make this quick. Okay. We have a lot to talk about. You have
Uh-oh.
What's your nickname for Ryan Day? You call him what?
Vanilla bread.
Vanilla bread. And why do you call him vanilla bread?
I think I was just like, I don't think vanilla bread's a real thing, but it's just kind of like boring and blah. Which, hold on. His little interview actually kind of takes away my name. Now that I think about it, his little tantrum. So, what do you think, Coach? I think he likes it though. He's grown accustomed to it.
I would hate to see. Never mind. Oh, Bryce. Oh man. But okay. Anyways. No, no, I just want that. I just want that because I think I forgot who said this, but he said, it's funny we ask these we get mad at these coaches for giving coach talk and being boring, and then as soon as they show you any type of fire, you're just flabbergasted. So I just wanted to, and I want to let you know, and maybe I already told you this. Recruits liked it, and his players loved it. So I mean, and I don't know if you've seen your recruiting rankings lately, Bryce. Maybe your coach should do more of that. So
yeah. I hear you. I hear you that you want your coach to show fire, enthusiasm, passion. And I don't fault him for that. It's who it was too, but then it was also felt so.
Bryce, it did not. Lou Holtz was the car.
What? The car?
Lou Holtz was the car to drive home the point. He just happened to catch the shots, Bryce.
But it felt like it wasn't even Lou Holtz. It just feels like Jim Harbaugh is so in his psyche right now that's what comes up. One bad half. You didn't have.
I think that's you. I think that's your fan base being pompous.
He referred to it like 30 minutes later in the other press conference interview. Said the bad half against the team, the TTUN team up north or whatever he said. It was two bad halves. Whatever.
But my point is made.
Let's call him, because Ohio State is red.
Call him Coach Ryan Day.
Let's call him vanilla bread with a little bit of sriracha on the top. A little bit of spice, the heat. Moving on. Speaking of incompetent head coaches. No, I'm kidding. That's an unfair segue. We're honest journalists. Today is out of line. Today, big day in East Lansing. Mel Tucker officially got fired with cause, meaning the school saved $80 million. I've got thoughts, but anything?
No, not really. I mean, listen, man.
These are your Sparties.
It was a $95 million phone call.
Well, an $80 million phone call, technically.
Yeah, $80 million phone call.
Send something to Kenneth Walker.
That must be some expensive.
I just think
This is a family show. Sorry.
Yeah, keep it clean. I feel bad for my Spartan brothers and sisters, friends I love dearly, who don green and white. But I think there are some dark days ahead. I think you're going to see a mass exodus of recruits. You've already seen a few. You're going to see investigations, probably some lawsuits coming, right? I would imagine. I don't really know how the legal system works in this area, but I would imagine Tucker's probably going to sue, try to get some of that money back.
Yeah.
And then what coach are you going to get? And I'm not saying that as like Michigan State can't get a good coach, but who's out there? Who are you going to get? And
I think they have options. Like I said, before, that their endowment is top 25 in the nation. That's a top 20 program. It is. Yeah. So and look, I mean, when they fired John L. Smith, they found a guy. They found someone.
They did.
So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. It'll be interesting. It'll be very, very interesting.
Sucks to suck though.
Does. Sucks a lot. I have very little sympathy. It's Tuck.
He
Kane?
was.
Tuck Kane. Okay. All right. Transition here. Sparty's going to Iowa State. And I got one thing to say about the Hawkeyes and their quarterback. When Cade McNamara made the decision to leave, I said, bravo, son. Thank you for what you did. You came in against Rutgers during that fake season, helped us win the game, helped us relieve some of the pain that Joe Milton kind of left, lack of quarterback production, came into the 2021 season.
Yeah.
Was good enough to go 12-1. Was good enough to lead the team to the Big Ten championship, first one since 2003. I commend him. He'll always be a legend. But daggone it, the way he went out with no real thanks. Not that we're owed anything. I'm not saying I owe a thank you, but Eric All sent a long thank you message. Other players who transfer send a thank you message, even though if things don't go well. Cade didn't, which is fine. Then news comes out about him with JJ, which again, you can say, that's fine. You're competing. Sure, I hear you. Also, you'll be a good teammate when you're a loser, right? If you're going to transfer in 2022, spend the season. I don't think he was with the team. I could be wrong on that. But I don't think
you have a point. Yeah,
be with the team. Support your brothers. And then he kind of goes off on the podcast with Carson Palmer and talks about the other guy. Just kind of says stuff tongue-in-cheek about the program and JJ. And then he goes out and says, our offense is going to be legit. And then the last thing he says was, I'm not used to defenses scoring touchdowns. The last game he started in, we got a scoop and score fumble touchdown. And it's just like, dude. And then Mike Sanders still had a pick 6 last weekend. It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then this kid leads an offense to go 76 total yards, threw for 56 total passing yards. He threw for 42, went 5 for 14. I'm not here to talk about the Hawkeyes and the Nittany Lions. I am here to say I don't want to hear any more about number 12 out of Iowa City. That's all.
Hey, man, no, you know what? I'll come around on this. Because I said before that, what's the big deal about him not really helping out JJ and supporting him, But, I mean, you've seen that video after Kyle McCord throws that touchdown. And then you see Devin Brown.
Right there.
Dude, yep. He seeks his teammate out.
Yep.
He asks, who the F do you think you are? I'm coming around on that. I'm with you on that.
All right.
I'm with you on that.
All right, wise guys, brother, you are red hot. Would you go 4-1?
Yes, I did. Yes, okay. I did.
I did not go 4-1. We'll leave it at that.
I think I'm 14-6 on the season right now.
That's scalding hot. That is blistering hot.
I might be the best college football sports bettor in the world right now. I challenge anyone.
There's enough of a sample size to prove that.
Yes, there is.
All right, hit me with your 5. Go. You're clearly better. Right now, I'm coming back.
Yeah, right. So, listen, man, this is where we're going to roll with. I have Bama minus 14.5 against Mississippi State. If you remember, Bryce, I picked Bama to win the SEC.
Jordan.
Last week against Ole Miss, they got me. I think the talent is about to start to pop over Tuscaloosa. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be able to pass the ball, because Lord knows they can't do that. But I think they're going to do pretty well. UGA minus 14.5 against Auburn. Bryce, I'm going to give a shout out to Bank. He's you can find him in Twitter Spaces. Auburn played 3 quarterbacks last week.
They did. I watched that game.
They're about to get pounced on.
It's bad. That's a small
USC,
spread. Wow.
What?
That's a small number.
Yeah.
14. That's wow.
That's free money. Free money. USC and Colorado hit the over. 73 points.
I know. It feels like there's no number that's too high for that game.
That USC defense is putrid. Well, both defenses are. But I think Colorado's going to bounce back. I do think Shedor's a really good quarterback. I think he's a really good quarterback. So I think he's going to bounce back. Penn State minus 27 over Northwestern. Now, that's a lot of points.
A lot of points.
but it's Northwestern. And then for my last one, BYU +2 against Cincinnati. So I got them winning, Bryce. I think BYU is a very underrated team right now. They look good. They can run the ball. Cincinnati's 2-2 right now. I think they're about to hit the dark days again. I mean, most Ohio schools except for Ohio State are in the dark days. So hey, it is what it is.
I mean, you guys have killed that state. I'm with you with Bama -14.5. I think Mississippi State's a bad football team. They'll bounce back. I'm going to go back out to the Pac-12, Oregon, and I'm taking both Oregon and Washington minus the points. Washington's -18.5. They play Arizona, and Oregon plays Stanford. I don't think there's enough points. I think Dan Lanning wants to make statements every game. He put up 80 points against Portland State or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So he's not here to
rooted in substance, baby. Rooted in substance.
Rooted in substance. I'm going to Arkansas +6.5. One of my good buddies is an Aggie. He always tells me these are one of the funkiest games. Never pick the Ags in Jerry World against a rival. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to ride with them again. Arkansas +6.5. Plus, A&M's quarterback is out for the season. And then last pick, UCF plays Baylor, -11.5 against Baylor. Baylor's terrible.
Oh, yeah. I can roll with that one.
Boom.
You always have a funky pick every week.
I do, and it loses.
I like it.
All right. Go Blue. Say bye to your coach.
OH.
I don't know if you heard it. It's on the mic. See y'all next week.